So, a very warm welcome back, everyone. This week, we are really diving into the full stack development. Till now, primarily, we have been building our APIs and then testing our APIs in the Postman. But nowadays, the job market has shifted a lot, and primary backend developers and primary front-end developers, those roles are reducing fairly rapidly, and there is extremely high demand when it comes to actual developing jobs is for full stack developers, people who can build both back end and front end. And in pursuit of that, today we are going to learn a little bit about the front end development, also known as user interface or UI development, and see what how we can leverage some of the previously built projects to build our UI. So before we go there, if you guys let me share my screen and then so if you guys remember, we had built a e-commerce platform where we had product controller which gave us all the different products, get all product by ID. This was a backend project we had built um, in the past, create a product uh, and whatnot. And this project was built using our uh, MongoDB Atlas, and we had uh, a products collection uh, table, and this collection houses different e-commerce product with different IDs, price, and description and discount. And we had built a Postman collection as well to interact with all of these APIs. So for example, if I hit product, I get all the products. I could get a product by specific ID, or I could create a product as well. Let's create a new product real quick and see. I think we needed a description field as well. So let's add it. Hmm, New product. And this product got created um, in our database as well. So if I came here and refreshed our collection, and if I went all the way down, our product 400, hopefully, of main results. So this new product 401, this is a new product. This got created through our API. So for this class, we are going to reuse our backend that was built. Um, any confusions on this about the backend structure of the project? Also, we had the ability to delete the product as well if we really wanted. So let's delete the 401 only. And we could, and that product would be gone from the database. So this is good with the backend development. Now comes the front end development. For your, I think, homework, you will be still working with the jobs APIs, but I wanted to show you a brand new project to deal with it. So we are going to create a new project with a framework called React. React is the most popular framework for creating web applications and mobile applications as well. You could do this project in this user interface of this project in for all that matters in Angular or pure JavaScript as well. But if you are coming from the React class, and if you've taken the React class in the past, you would be familiar with React already, and you would be familiar with creating the new React project as well. To create the new React project, we run this command npm create or npx create white. So white is a toolkit that provides different utilities for creating and managing React or Vue or Angular projects. So we are going to use it and create the new project. And once we are in the new project, we are going to cd into the new project. So here I have created e-commerce UI, a new project. And then after that, I have done npm install in my project. And then I have added two extra dependencies, which will come in handy little later, and I will go over them in a bit. But two dependencies, Axios and React DOM router. So stay with me for these two things. I will explain them in a very short time. But this is we are still at the stage of creating the project where we have created a new project using npm create white, and then we have entered into project directory. And the third step we have done is npm install. The fourth step we have done is install two different dependencies, React DOM router and React and Axios. Uh, it might sound complicated till this point, so stop me here if you guys have any questions as to how I created a new user interface project or UI project. I'll give you guys a few seconds to think of any questions you might have for creating the new project. Or let me show you guys creating the new project as well. So you guys are with me. So uh, let me paste this command here. And here, this is my project name. So sample UI project. And if it asks you for options, just select React with your option selector and then JavaScript. Now you cd into the created project, then do npm install, and then do cd, then do the extra dependency installation, that is npm install React DOM router and npm install Axios, and then npm run dev. This command is coming from your package.json, which most of you should be familiar from our Node.js projects. And once you do that, if you did this everything correct, you would be having a URL to open in your browser. And once you open this URL, let the URL open, you would see something like this on your browser screen once you go to this URL. Any confusions till this point? How did I create a new React project, and how we install the dependency, and how we ran the new project? I'll give you guys a few seconds to think. So let me stop this project and go back to my uh, regular project. Uh, and run dev here. So to avoid any confusions, let me explain the project first. So in the React, what we really build are components, and component is nothing but a logical part of your page or your web application. So for example, if you see this is the project that I have created for our e-commerce project. Here, if you see on the top, there is a navigation menu with product management as our website title and product list and add products to buttons, which take us to different places in the application. So this whole navigation is a component or a single unit of code. Then you see a table here. This table is also um, a component. So the table itself is another component. And when I go here, you see a form to add a new product. This is also a component. So React breaks down your web page or your website into different components. And that is what you see on the left navigation here. Inside source directory, I have a components directory and I have a product table, the table that we saw, then a product form component to create new uh, new product, and navigation bar that we see on the top of our application. So think when you code in React, think of breaking your website in as smaller pieces as possible. For the matter of the fact, as an exercise, you guys should break this table. So in this project, I'm going to leave some work for you guys to do as well if you guys want to really learn more into React and front end development as well. I will leave some bugs as well as some more components that you could create, and I'll point those out. So, and this those are those things you can do on top of your homework if you like to do. So, if anybody wants to make a note, you could first task, extra task would be you could break this search bar that you see here and search as a separate component. Right now, this code is entirely inside the product table component, but you could break this search bar and search functionality into a component itself. So that would be a good practice for you, a good practice for you as well. Uh, So with that said, let's look at our first component, which is product table component. So React uses something called state variable, which is to showcase different information on the user interface. So here, if you see products is our state variable and it is an array. Product is an array which will hold our all the products from database. So what we get in API response, this array will be held in the products array, and that array's value will be displayed in the table. So let's look at what happens when our website starts. So I'll have the DevTools open here and stay with me. When I open this website, let me filter this. I get a API call to our backend called localhost 5000 API says product. This matches exactly as our postman call. And in the response, we get our data with different products, all 22 products. And this matches exactly our postman response as well. So we have been doing this in postman, but using React, we can do the same using previously installed library Axios. You could, there's something called also you could use fetch here as well if you don't want to use Axios, but it's a good uh, practice to actually work with Axios. So here we have our API base URL, which is product, and uh, we are calling our API URL API says product to get all the data. And it's simple, just like our Postman, we are doing get means here we are doing a get call. Also in Axios, we will do axios.get. And then once we get the API response back, then we are setting that response into this product array. And once this product array is populated, we use something called uh, JSX to loop over all of this product and create a table products.map line 157, and we create each individual row in the table. Any confusions till this point? So we are calling our API and getting all the product data from our API and then creating the table by looping over all the data. Any confusions here? Here we have leveraged our get all products API. Okay, moving on. So similarly in our backend, we had endpoint called get all products by I get a product by ID. So we could pass an ID and get the specific products detail. Same thing we can mimic in our search API is if you see our search API, I can provide our product API and clicking on this, we call the exact same API endpoint and we get the one specific product only uh, and we display it. So how does that work? Here. So previously we were calling our API with all the products. Similarly, we have a function which is fetch product by ID, and uh, in in our function we have we call fetch product by ID when somebody enters something on the search box. And when somebody enters something on the search box, uh, we take that provided information and we call a new function called ID, and then we call our API endpoint URL slash the provided ID on the line 37. We call our API based URL and provided ID to get a specific product. And when somebody hits clear, we reset it to fetch all the products again. Any confusions on how we get product by ID? For getting product by ID, we are leveraging our previously built API and just calling it on the product search. So here I have left out a bug if you guys want to make a note of it. So let's say I search for this product and this product is not found. And now I search for a product which is found. I still see a message, no product found with product ID P7000. So this is a lingering message from the previous search. If you guys really want to dive deep into React code and understand it, even though you guys are primarily studying Node.js, try to solve this bug. So this would be your second extra exercise if you really like to learn this more deeply. Uh, and clearing the search returns back to our product. So now comes our second dependency that we had installed, which is React DOM router. So React DOM router allows us to create a logical route in our application. For example, here I say add product. So it's called add product. This is the route that I have defined so, and that routing and routes and everything is allowed by the React DOM router library that additionally you need to install. And also in the navigation bar, we use React DOM router to navigate to specific link. So when I click here, I'm navigating to a specific link. When I click on product list, I'm navigating to the link defined by slash on the line 15. And when I click on add product, I'm navigating to the um, product that is defined page that is defined by slash add product. So this is where React DOM router helps you create logical sections in your application, uh, and you can manage your application more smartly. So that's about and stop me again anytime you guys are confused. So this is about the routing in the React. Now we are on our product page. If we go back a little while ago, we had created this product 401 with providing this payload. Similarly, we can create a product. Let's 402. Product name is new product from UI. Let's set price as 150 and some description. And when we hit submit this form by hitting add product, we are getting a message. Product created successfully. And if we scroll down, we call our product fetch UI again. So first we are creating the post method. This is exactly the same method that we had done. So xcs.post. So let me show you the code for that first. Uh, so for that, we go to our product form. So this is a sample React form. You guys can study the code of it. I'll not go dive deeper, but it's self-explanatory once you guys are a little bit familiar with React. But I take all the form data, create the payload, and submit the form using xcs.post. So xcs.post is matching our Postman API, and then API's product and the payload. Payload is nothing but this object. So payload would look, product would look like this. A product would look like this, and I'm submitting it. And once that is successful, I am putting an alert message that product added successfully and navigating back to our main page. If you go back to your database and refresh, even the product that got created from the UI will appear here. So let's go to our second page here. So this 402 was the product which we inserted from the UI. So this is really the power of full stack development, where we created an product from our user interface, which went the request went to our Node.js backend, and our Node.js backend inserted the data into our database. So this is this kind of application is called CRUD um, application, and this is if you really think of this, what we just built was a MERN stack application. So it's very famous. MERN stack, MERN stack is a popular full stack JavaScript web application consisting of MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. So once you understand this React application and how it's communicating to our Node.js and how the data is inserted to MongoDB, you would be familiar with the MERN stack. So this is very famous, one of the interview topics that uh, uh, comes up. Similarly, there's a mean stack as well, where uh, instead of React, people use Angular to build this UI. And I would suggest you guys focus on React if you have not done anything before, because React is the most popular in the job market and everything. So similarly, we in uh, our application we have delete product as well. So you can use delete product from here as well, and it will call the delete API. But in the UI, it's always wise to warn the user uh, that they are about to delete something, because by mistake they might have clicked on delete. So once we hit the delete that application, so this is the second bug I have intentionally left here, uh, where the product actually got deleted. This product 402 is actually deleted, and you can verify it in our database. If you refresh it, and if you go to second page, you will not see 402 anymore. And if you call the API again, you will not also get the 402 product, but it's still visible in our user interface, even though we hit the delete button. And we hit the API call done. We got the successful response, and we said success true. It's not deleted. So this is the second major bug in this user interface application that if you guys are interested in learning more, you should solve, is why this is still visible here. There is very simple solution that you can do, which is already implemented in the code. When we add the product, that solution is already implemented. All you guys need to think logically and uh, fix it. So this is really in the nutshell, how do you create a React application to communicate to the Node.js application that is already there and build a UI. And another critical part is in the user interface, you will be dealing with the CSS files as well to make everything look nice and good. So that's another skill that gradually or eventually you guys will build. And there are famous frameworks like Tailwind and Bootstrap and so on and so forth. So when you guys dive deeper into full stack development, you will be um, dealing with those. Uh, I don't think as part of this course you guys are expected to become UI experts, but it's always is important to understand what is MERN stack and what is JSX React, what is React component, and what is CSS, so you can answer at least basic to intermediate questions in your interviews.